and she had to go wash some uniform, some shit. And she still had her uniform, the Guerilla. Not knowing how to swim, she said, fuck this, jumps in. Wakes up, washed up on shore. With the Guerilla uniform, guess to what town, bro? Guess who was in charge of that town?
Who?
The military.
That's crazy.
So, bro, imagine they see the enemy, bro, where it's on site. It's death.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. Cheers, brother.
Hey, cheers. Thank you for having me, man.
A very special guest today. We got Sergio. Actually, how do you say your fucking last name?
I already expected this. So it's Betancourt.
Betancourt. Okay.
But in high school and everywhere else in the U.S., it's Bettencourt.
Yeah. I was like, how the fuck do you say his last name?
Yeah,
so
Betancourt.
Serge is actually my barber. And the funny thing is like, I had a barber before. And this fuck just started like ghosting me for a fucking second. And I think I know what happened too. Like he fucked up my hair once, right? And I'm like, whatever, people all make mistakes. And I was just like, whatever, it's just kind of fucked up, whatever. And I kind of left. And then he just kind of started like being a little weird about it and shit. I'm like, bro, you fucked up. Like,
what did he do?
He, the shit was hella, and he actually cut in too deep on one side. And so I'm like, oh shit. And I'm not really tripping. Like, whatever, hair grows back. It doesn't really matter. But I did mention to him, I'm like, hey, bro, you fucking cut hella deep right here, guy.
I wonder what happened.
I don't know. Maybe he took it personally or whatever, but yeah, he hit me up.
Oh, because you actually mentioned it towards the end. Dude, some barbers will get salty, man. It's crazy.
And like his issue too was that he would always take super long on my cuts because he was so busy just fucking, chatting it up with everybody else, and it would be like a 2-hour cut. And I'm like, bro, I got places to go.
Yeah. Yes, bro. I've seen people, bro, being in the barber game now for like 8 years or so, and like actually having like a few years in a shop. I see people going to the back like to eat a sandwich, people taking smoke breaks, bro. And I'm just like, yo, motherfuckers have to be at dinner with their mom.
Yeah.
They have like a date to be to or something, So
yeah,
that's a big one, bro. That's a big one.
Well, it was interesting because like I actually met Sergio through somebody who was a fan who actually took over my lease for my apartment.
Homie.
Maverick,
bro.
Dude named Maverick, right? And then Maverick was the one that actually mentioned you. He goes, yo, my homie cuts hair, give him a chance. I'm
That's
like,
so sick. Yeah.
What the fuck do I have to lose, right?
Dude, that guy, he came through for me. He's the first haircut I did for him was at the dorms, like in the dorm bathroom of Cal Poly.
Oh, wow.
I had seen his hair at a party, and I was like, yo, this guy's hair is fresh. Turns out he was getting haircuts from this crazy barber in LA called Julius Caesar. And what's even trippier is he was going to where I'm cutting now.
Oh.
It's Vince the barber, the guy who cuts Tim.
Yeah.
His studio, Gray Matter, I think it was Gray Matter was in that studio space. And I had mentioned like, yo, your hair is fresh. Let me cut it up. Ends up switching to me, linking to you. I move into that same spot. Tim walks in and he's like, I've been here before. Turns out it was the same place, bro.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. But Maverick, hey, that's my boy. He came through with that.
Well, it's interesting too because you said you started cutting hair through YouTube, right?
Dude.
Which is so fucking crazy, man. Like whenever I hear somebody who gets skills through YouTube, it blows my mind. Because when I was younger, everything was through trade, right? So if you were learning to cut hair, and I mean, obviously you would go to barber school, but before that, there weren't any videos online for us to learn how to do fades or nothing.
So when I started, it was almost the same way, but it was potato quality YouTube videos.
All right.
It was this guy named Cake It Is Randy using the machine that I didn't want to use. So I'm not gonna lie, bro. People think I'm like, I took hella classes and shit. Dude, I watched 6 months of YouTube videos and just winged it. And I've been winging it since, bro. And it's been a blessing, especially like recently. I don't know if you saw, I was at a friend's birthday party, pool party. That was the guy who let me chop his hair, destroy his hair, 6 months, senior year.
Really?
Fucking homie, bro. and I would be using his dad's clippers. And I'd be like doing the 0 line, watching the video, opening the guard, going up, same thing. Turns out the lever was not sturdy. So it would close back up. So I'd go 0, open up to do a half, back to zero.
Oh my God.
Shit like that. And I would just be watching this one dude caking his Randy. So shout out to that guy. Potato quality videos. But now the game's changed in YouTube. Like you were saying, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, like so many people too, like growing up, you know, when you used to get your haircut, like getting your haircut or just like faded up was everything, right?
Yeah.
Like it would set your mood for the fucking week. If your fucking haircut was fucked up, it would ruin your whole week. And like
it's like a permanent shirt.
All the homies would try to learn how to cut their hair by themselves, right? I would try to do it myself, but then I was like, fuck it, I'll just get my mom to cut my hair. Yeah. Because like, I don't give a fuck. But then I was so ticklish. My mom used to slap me upside my head because I would move so much.
Yeah.
So every time I hated getting a haircut, I was traumatized. I was like, I don't like fucking haircuts because every time I would move, my mom would fucking slap me.
Smack the shit.
She would slap the shit out of me. I used to get like $7 haircuts too after that.
Same.
Because it was so cheap. But then $7 haircuts are $7 haircuts.
Bro. My pops would take me to the $7 bar lady. She would give me a 1 on top or on the sides and a 3 on top, no fade. Bro, I hated haircut. I don't know what I showed you. I used to have a little like afro.
Yeah.
And when I got into the barber game, was literally what I was cutting other people. I didn't know, bro. So I discovered it still having ugly hair. That's why I like barely ever have like nice haircuts, bro. And people are like,
I used to do straight up like a 1 and then I do like a 3 on top and I just leave it.
Bro. And it's just,
it was the worst.
I hated it, bro. It was so, dude, they're making money, bro. 1 and 3.
Yeah.
A few minutes, boom, $7.
We'd be in and out like 20 minutes, just
quick, bro, quick.
And so they would just do it like through repetition.
Yeah.
So for them, they could get us out in 20 minutes each, sometimes even faster.
Dude, faster sometimes.
Yeah.
No fade.
Exactly. And I remember like, I was like, fuck it. Let me just go back to getting like fades again. And it's hard to go back. And a lot of people don't understand like salon cuts versus barber cuts are 2 different things, right? And I always tell like young men, like some of the basic stuff, right? Especially when it comes to like looking good, dressing nice or whatever. There's a couple of basics. It's like have some good jeans, have a decent pair of shoes, and always get a nice haircut.
Yeah.
That's it. Some dudes can just rock the most basic clothing, but as long as their fade is super nice and their
shoes are clean.
That's all you need.
It. That's
right?
Clean. That's
and a lot of people do, they come out a little scrubby and they don't understand it's because your fucking haircut's whack.
Dude.
Right? And so what I always say, like barbers always do, they do God's work. You know what I mean? Because you
appreciate that.
Like it makes you a different man. When pandemic happened,
we saw the world crumble, bro.
Yeah. Everybody missed their barbers. We were fucking desolate. We're like, we need somebody to touch up. Everybody started trying to cut in their hair again.
I loved it. Bro, it changed the game for us.
Yeah.
Because even though we're supposed to be recession proof and that was out the door, I was like, oh yeah, I'll never lose work. Pandemic happens, that's shitty. But the appreciation, dude, people were like hitting me up like, bro, I love you.
Dude, you saw what I look like. I look like a Japanese lesbian, bro.
Bro, oh my God. That's right. Where I did the side of your hair and you had a mullet.
Yeah. My hair was crazy, dude. I had fucking the Japanese pussy hair on the side.
Yes, bro. Yes, you had the little curl.
Yeah, I was like, yo, somebody give me a haircut,
bro,
dude.
That shit was so funny. Dude, my sister was so, it was scary, you know? First like we thought everyone was gonna die.
Yeah.
We were using gloves at the gas station, all that shit, which we probably should do still because fucking gas station pump. But like, dude, my sister was like, no haircuts, I had to respect it. It is what it is. Like my clients suffered for 3 solid months before I did a haircut.
Dude, it was a long ass time. I didn't have a haircut forever.
The barbers in the garage were charging $100 though.
Damn. So they uppriced that shit because they're risking their lives.
Because they're risking their lives. Yeah. They're down, bro. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I might have done it had it not been for me like respecting my sister because I was living with her at the time.
I would have taken the chance. I would have been like, I need a fucking haircut, dude.
Yo.
I was gonna hit you up. It's like, hey, bro, I know it's COVID and shit. I'll double wear this mask. I'm fine. Just somebody give me a haircut.
Oh my God, you saw hazmat suit?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll wear everything down and I'll just fucking leave my hair out and then you can just fade it
come
up.
in with a little plastic taped everywhere.
But it was weird though because even Mariel didn't want me to get a haircut or whatever. And it's funny how like these things that are, it's our luxury to get a haircut becomes a huge part of our identity and necessity. Because we don't realize like how much are like really, because I really don't give a fuck about what I look like, but I do give a fuck about my haircut.
Yo. And it's like, and it's not even like for some people don't even give a fuck about other people looking at them. It's just the feeling of like having like weightlessness.
Yes.
Bro, the weightlessness feeling. The feeling of the pillow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, bro. Cold pillow after a fade, man.
Dog, I just
Summer
don't look
night.
good with long hair, bro. Like, I just don't look good
dude,
with it.
Honestly, that's like all my Asian homie stories.
Yeah.
It's because of how straight it grows.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough.
Like, unless I'm going to, like, be a sumo, like, it's not going to happen, dude. Like, I can't fucking do it, man. But
I won't let you get to sumo, bro. We're gonna hit a height before that shit.
Hey, but interestingly enough, like, you know, Sergio has a very interesting story, specifically with his family. So this fool was cutting up my hair. And this fool just starts going into this story about how his family came here to this country. Like it's like a casual, common story. And I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck is this? You know, and I always talk about, you know, especially because I have a podcast where we kind of go over where we talk about what's happening out in Afghanistan. And I think people in this country, they don't realize how fortunate they are to live here.
Bro.
Right? And
absolutely.
No matter how many times, like even I'm from South Korea, right? So I'm not from like Vietnam or Laos, like coming from these like secret wars or anything else like that. But the immigrant story is something that's very important for people to hear because a lot of people, they say they understand why they're so appreciative of this country. They'll wave the American flag. They say, I love this country. But in terms of their behavior and how they portray it, I don't think they really understand how great this country is to live, right? So
it's nuts, man.
When we have this idea of like our freedoms being taken away, people kind of just, they don't understand like what it really means. That's why I always say like immigrants are the ones that really do love this country the most. Facts. Because of where we came from and what we had to go through.
We know how ruthless.
You want to tilt the mic down a little bit?
Yeah, we know how ruthless the world could be outside of like this like palace walls or some shit, bro. Like even though we do have our own problems in this country, you could do anything you want.
Yeah,
you could do anything you want if you really like set yourself to do it, and that's something that other countries don't have. Whether it be like a government like coming through and like my Armenian homies told me like, oh, their government's gonna come and tax you on your business. That's why they want to open businesses here. Or like in Colombia, like the story I was telling you, La Guerilla for the farmers, they're supposed to be for the farmers, bro. They go in and they take your shit. They're extorting. Extortion doesn't really happen here as much. Mm-hmm. And that's like something we don't get. Like it goes deep. It goes deep.
Like extortion here is on the down low, right? Mm-hmm. Over there, it's right in front of
right in front of you, and you can't
like,
escape it.
What are you going to fucking do about it, right? It's there's mafia drug lord shit, and then there's the government, right?
And then no wait, and there's La Guerilla, bro, which is I'm gonna explain to you like with my grandma. Dude, you want me to
start telling the story, man. Just because I heard a little snip of it, and I thought I was watching a fucking movie, man.
Okay. So it's a rough story for my family just because it's sad, but I really want to share it because I think it's so important to keep it alive. Because my grandma was a G, like a triple OG, bro.
Yeah.
My grandma, Ana Melba Rios, she was like born. I think she was born in 37, right? So she was born in Manizales, which is Caldas, which is part of El Eje Cafetero. So it's like where all the coffee comes from. Like if you ever go to Colombia, you have to go to del Eje Cafetero. Because they have an amusement park of coffee.
Oh, shit.
It's like a big deal. Colombians are known for coffee. Like that is a thing. So she was born into like a farmer's family. And my great-grandfather, he was like a colonizer. Like they will go and they like go to a part of the jungle, tear it all down, set up a farm. That's how they did it back then. So he goes, sets up his farm, has my grandma. She's the second oldest. The first two were girls. It was like a family of 9 or something. They would always be patrolled by a thing called La Guerilla. Specifically, it was Las FARC, which stands for Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia. Which is funny because, bro, they took Fuerzas Armadas Colombianas, which is like, they say fuck. So they take fuck, which is like the military, which is the military, which is like government, conservatives, whatever. There's conservatives and liberals in Colombia. Those are the parties. You're either conservative, liberal. And then there's Las FARC, which is super left. And they are supposed to be for the people, for the farmland, blah, 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 this or that. Bullshit, bro. It's like they ended up, maybe they started like a lot of things start that way, but you know how it goes with money, power, whatever. Yeah. They ended up in narcotráfico. They ended up like drug dealing, extorting, doing some heinous shit, bro.
This podcast is brought to you by Betterhelp, my friends. You guys know I've been talking about Betterhelp for quite a while, and it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Mental health is super important, and we've all been cooped up tense, and honestly, we know the importance of our mental health. So stop pushing your emotions aside and get to it, baby. Betterhelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. No, this is not a gimmick. This isn't some random person. You don't have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room, and you can message your counselor at any time while setting up weekly video phone sessions. It's super convenient and, more importantly, allows you to be safe and comfortable in your own environment. I know that helps me out a lot because your boy deals with a lot of social anxiety, and I don't want to deal with people all the time. So if I could do it on my own time over the phone, it makes it so much easier and better for me. So this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Genius Brain listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. So visit betterhelp.com/genius. Get that 10% off and work on that mental health, my friends.
So they would just walk freely through the farmers' lands, right? So my grandma, she would just be chilling, whatever. And in comes La Guerilla to her dad, like, kill that fucking cow and feed all of us. Tell your bitches to feed all of us, bro. So get all these kids to start cooking. We want a fresh meal. So they'd have to lose a cow. I don't know how much cows are. Yeah. Fucking whatever. And they'd have to do as told, because they'll kill you. Simple as that. So that was the first few encounters. And they walk, like you said, walk freely, whatever. So this, I didn't tell you, this is so fucked up, bro. I finally found out. My great-grandfather had basically adopted a kid. And they would call him Perro Loco. Crazy dog.
Yeah.
So Perro Loco was like a worker, and he became part of the family. But because La Guerilla was around, how it happens so much, bro, it's just like a little brainwashing here, a little brainwashing there. He kind of strayed off the wrong path. He comes back, and my great-grandfather at the time, as a farmer, you don't say what you believe in. You don't say what political side or whatever. Even though like my family, like them, I'm pretty sure they're more liberal leaning. This guy would not say anything. And so the guerrilla goes, yo, Perro Loco, are you a conservative? Are you siding with, I forgot the word, but they'd call him like some like taunt. Mm. And for initiation, to show him how real he was, he's like, yeah, that guy doesn't want to say like what party he's at. Let's go there. And he's like, all right, let's go. To my great-grandfather. So my grandma, I think at this moment, my grandma's older sister, the actual head of the family, was married at 13, moved away.
Oh my God. Okay.
How it goes, hey, it's like the 30s, you know? So married at 13, off with another family. So my grandma was like the head. Is like, what the fuck? Sees her dad get taken away. She like climbs to go see, bro. Perro Loco kneeled my great-grandfather down, shot him in the head. Execution style.
What the fuck?
As like an initiation to prove his loyalty to Las FARC. They come back, burn down the farm. So my grandma or my great-grandma, now a widow, takes all the kids, let's fucking go. Goes, does it all over again. Guerrilla comes through. My grandma, now 10 years old. Bro, and mind you, has minimal education. So another thing I didn't tell you. At the time, women didn't get expected to be like put through school or whatever. My great-grandmother wanted them to be a little educated. So her and her older sister would trade off days that they could go to school behind my great-grandfather's back. They would hide a uniform under their bed, like lay it like super flat, whatever, every day. Come back, make it in time to go bring out the dinner that my great-grandfather thought they were cooking. So she got about 2 years of education in.
Wow.
10 years old, Guerrilla comes to the new settlement. It's like, all right, you're 10, let's go. And no one could do shit because they'll kill anyone who says otherwise. Now my grandmother, poor girl, like she's a little girl, bro, 10 years old. Like I was fucking we were all playing, you know? Like
yeah.
Instead, gets taken off to a guerrilla, jungle, straight jungle, bro. gets taught for a year on guerrilla warfare, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
God damn,
dude,
bro.
As a 10-year-old little girl, bro, anyone that's like of age, it's like what goes on in like Uganda and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Same shit, bro. So then my poor grandmother like gets sent off to go off and wash something. And Sumapaz was el rio. It was a river.
Okay.
My grandma would say that she couldn't see the other side of this river. And she had to go wash some uniform, some shit. And she still had her uniform, the Guerilla. Not knowing how to swim, she said, fuck this, jumps in. Wakes up, washed up on shore. With the Guerilla uniform, guess to what town, bro? Guess who was in charge of that town?
Who?
The military.
That's crazy.
So, bro, imagine they see the enemy, bro, where it's on site. It's death. You're getting executed. The girls in the Guerilla are getting like raped, then killed. Vice versa. They're both they're literally boys clubs where they don't get to see any women. So women, bro, get fucked with even more.
Yeah.
She gets washed up and thank fucking God, whatever, bro. She gets found by this lady named Senora Virginia. And she's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Takes her. She was just washed up on shore. Takes her, hides her under a bed. And it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I have the enemy under the bed.
Yeah.
Not knowing my grandma. Dude, it's so clutch. Like, she could have got killed instantly, whatever.
Killed, raped, something.
Bro, everything. All of the above. Gets put, when she's not under the bed, she gets put in a wooden trunk. It's a wooden trunk, bro.
What the fuck?
And Senora Virginia is like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Days go by. She like drops out maybe some bread. She's just chilling in her like uniform, probably like, you know, like it's not sanitary. She's been in there how many days? And bro, she was so tiny because my grandma at the height, at the peak of her adulthood, she was 4'10" or 4'9".
Yeah.
So she was even a smaller little girl in this tiny wooden trunk. The military would come by and stab at shit. And she would see, just because they knew, dude, no hiding the enemy. It was like a war, bro. It's still a war, still deep, bro. No one knows about Las FARC.
Mm-hmm.
They all hear about like the narcos, whatever. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand now, but dude, it's deep. So the military stabbing at things. My grandma didn't get fucking stabbed, thankfully, whatever. And then the whole time, La Señora Virginia is like, how am I going to bless this like this little baby girl? Like, she doesn't deserve this. She knows that she got recruited. She doesn't want her dead. So she like starts kind of like mingling with like a general. And she's like, we need to save this little girl. She admits it, which is like a death sentence, bro.
Yeah.
But the general, for whatever fucking reasons, like, yeah, I agree. And goes, formulates a plan, put her in this potato sack. We're going to go to a military base. She has to stay completely still. So they get her a potato sack, pretend like she's a bag of potatoes, puts it on the military plane, or the military helicopter, flies her over to Bogota, which is the capital, but like the rural parts, bro. Brings the helicopter down, just throws the sack, tips. My grandma's alive. She goes and she said that she was fucking starving for like ever, just walking.
And that was like the only option.
That was the only option.
It's like the best thing
that's
that we
like
could
best
do.
thing. Yes. And that's so shitty, bro. It hurts, bro. It's like sad, you know? But like, nonetheless, she goes, walks aimlessly, ends up at a fucking house. And it's like, I think it was like, I don't know what. I think it was like I don't remember if it was like a priest's house or it was like some house where they're like, she's like, yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, bet. Put on this apron, start cleaning, start cooking. We'll give you food. They would give her the scraps with the dogs and be like, sleep there too. So she would have to sleep and eat with dogs, bro, as a fucking like 11-year-old girl or 10-year-old girl.
God damn.
Bro, she said that she would love these dogs because they would just keep her warm. Like the werewolves would take in the boy, you know, like that story or whatever, the wolves taking the boy. That's her shit, bro. She would literally sleep with dogs to stay warm. And these dogs would probably be like whatever, like shepherd dogs, whatever. So they're probably bigger than her. So it was like, it's crazy. Yeah. They like kept her going. She would eat scraps, bro, with their hands and shit. literal just a child. But eventually, she would just be like living there, doing that for a while. And then out in La Plaza, I don't know, some plaza in Bogota, she was able to like meet some friends, some girls when she was older. I think it went on for some, I don't know like timelines, but it went on for like a bit. She was already older at this point. And she met these girls that were like, yo, we could get you work in this construction business. And so she had to go and she would clean the outside. And my family, they don't speak English much. So they would tell me the word is granito, which I think when I looked it up, like it's like, it's some sort of material that they would put on the outside of buildings that had like little like shards of glass and like other shit. And they would have to like scrub it down or some shit that now we would just use power tools for. But dude, apparently her hands would just be leaking blood day in, day out, just grinding, fucking trying to survive, whatever. And the owner of the construction company like took a liking to her. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna move you in towards just final cleaning of the properties before we turn them over to the owner or whatever. So she was like, oh, fuck yeah, like finally. So she would just like clean up after all the construction was done. And this owner ended up becoming my grandfather. So
wow,
bro, 20 years older, bro. Like that's some like old, like 50s, 60s shit. But this man, 20 years older, born in like 1917, 6 foot like 7 or some crazy shit. My little grandma. He
with
like
this 4'10" woman.
Bro, it's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, she gets pregnant, right? Worst part is, bro, my grandma didn't have sex ed. Didn't have none of that we had, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't even know she could get pregnant, bro, apparently.
Oh
She's
my God.
Because, dude, think about it. She's a little girl in her head. She left. She got 2 years of education. Literally, like, learned how to add, subtract, barely read and write, and that was it. That's all the education she had. So she technically mentally is like kind
still
of
a kid,
a little younger. So she's like, holy shit, I haven't fucking had a kid. That goes on. Bro, she didn't even know that women lactate, bro. They didn't know. So that shit like caused some problems with her chest. She had to go into surgeries, bro. Shit like that. She's like, what the fuck is going on? But finally, when she's about to finish, gets pregnant again. That's my mom. So the first older sister was like a year older than my mom. She passed away before I was born. She was from like some liver problems, whatever. So the next one up is with my mom. So now she has 2 little girls, bro. She's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't work. There's no, and like he would be like there to give maybe, I think he would give her like maybe like grocery money.
Mm-hmm.
But she discovered like how you know how I came up on art?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, she discovered fucking knitting and sewing and just self-taught blew up in sewing and knitting. And she started sewing for all the prostitutes.
What the fuck?
All this I just found out too, bro. I'm on the same boat.
What the fuck was she sewing then, bro?
Hey, I don't fucking know. You already know what it is. Because they would have leftover fabric. So probably some skimpy shit.
Yeah.
But the leftover fabric, it was custom to be like, do you want your leftover fabric? They were bawling apparently, bro. So they're like, you have little girls. That's how she would make my aunt's clothing, bro. With leftover fabrics from the prostitute she would sew for. And she was making some bread, bro, because they had money.
Yeah.
Like, so my grandfather, I think he thought that she was like getting money from other people. But she was just hustling, bro.
Yeah.
She's a gangster, bro. But he would just give her enough to pay for like food.
Yeah.
So she's like kind of bitter, whatever, but still going along. And dude, she just like self-taught, learned how to like make like with like some like clay sculptures, bro. And she would make what she was known for was miniature roses, any flower you could think of, little angels. She would make anything with. Have you seen the sculpture at my place?
Yeah.
The big werewolf bust? It makes sense, bro. She's self-taught sculptor, self-taught painter, starts painting on clothing. That's what she would do, bro, because she needed to be at home to rate, because she was so determined to help my aunts be one step above her, like 10 steps above her life, you know? So, and my grandpa, like I could truly say he wasn't the greatest man. Because dude, he had money, bro. He was a business owner. He was successful, and he would be like embarrassed of that side. I'm pretty sure he was talking to other people. Like, that's a fact. He had other family.
A lot of older guys did that back in the day.
So he had another family. This was like the accident, or I don't know. But when he would come back, he would like apparently like be at like the dinner table with my mom and my aunt, and they'd be eating with their hands, and he'd be under the table being like, "You're like an animal."
Oh, wow.
Bro, but what does my grandma know? She doesn't know fucking better.
Yeah.
So like she was just so determined to like beat the stereotype that like that he already like, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, like you're uneducated, blah, blah, blah. Like fuck that. She was a genius, bro. Because with first and second grade like education or whatever, my mom swears that she would help them with their homework until they were like 6th, 7th graders, bro.
Wow.
Like how the fuck she gotta learn that shit? Like, you know, fucking read the text, but like, fuck, I can barely read. But
That's
I'm gonna
insane.
fucking do it. She's a gangster, bro. Like when I say it, like she's a genius. Imagine if she was formally educated. Imagine, who knows? But all I know is that I respect her so deeply for this, bro. She would do anything for them. She'd put them in a private Catholic school, being broke, by cutting corners like, oh, you need a uniform? Bring your friend's uniform. Look at it, sew up their own uniform to look exactly like shit like that, bro. She put them through a private school.
And grandpa would never help.
And my grandpa would never help. He would come back and my grandma would be like, this is kind of towards the end of like their relationship. My mom told me that my grandpa would come home and he'd have pantyhose inside of his bag, and he'd have like all his dirty clothes. So my grandma would always do that shit. And then one day he calling her like uneducated, or calling her like humillándola, belittling her is the word. She said, fuck it. And she like pulled out the pantyhose, put it on top, didn't do shit for him. And she went to the mirror, doing her hair, whatever. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he's like, yo, don't make me hit you, because one of my flicks will knock you out for 3 days. And my grandma, just doing her like hair in the mirror, goes, man, if you knock me out for 3 days, you better hope it actually kills me, because I'll fucking kill you. Oh, shit, dude. And dude, this guy got up to hit her, and he's like, got up to hit her. My grandma grabs a bottle, bro. And she's like, I will kill you.
Wow.
Homeboy dipped.
Wow.
Bro, like I told you about, she would be sleeping in that house in La Dorada with a revolver under her pillow, just kicking. I told you about that shit.
Fucking crazy.
Because people would try to break in.
Yeah.
Bro, one time they try to break in, all she had to do is cock that shit. Done. They're not gonna fuck them. Why are they gonna get shot, you know? Go break into the next house. Bro, she was such a G, dude.
That's crazy, dude.
Bro, I'm so amazed by her, man. Melba. Mi abuelita Melbita, I would call her. And she would call me her terrón de azúcar, like her little bag of sugar.
That's so crazy.
Bro, yeah, what's rough though is all right, I'll continue. So after that, apparently, I don't know how factual this is. A doctor, she had migraines. The doctor's like, yo, you have to have another kid to get rid of these migraines. Which is so weird, bro. Some old witchcraft type of shit. Like, so she goes and she's like, I'm not going to have a kid with another man. She's like, hey, come back. Gets pregnant. Peace out. Like, yo.
Oh my God. That's so fucking funny, dude.
It's so funny. And she's like, I don't fucking need you, by the way, but like, I just want these migraines gone. And that's my aunt, Paquico, which is the artist. She's so talented, bro. She's so lit, man. She's such a good person. But Paquico, apparently this guy, she's like, hey, you have to come with me because you have to prove that this is your daughter so it could be your same last name. And if you don't, I'm going to switch all their last names because I'm not having 3 girls with different last names. So this guy came and he found out the gender because he looked at the name. He didn't even give a fuck, bro. So kind of a scumbag. Pretty scummy. But anyway, that was the end of that. My grandma raised them. At some point, like my aunt, my first aunt passes away from that liver thing, whatever. At this point, like my mom's of age, she's going to school, meets my father, whatever. They're in their master's programs. They both have masters, bro. They're really my parents are educated. Like I'm very proud of them. Anyway, during that time, get pregnant with my sister, then they have me. During that whole time, this guy has like a family with someone else, my grandfather, and he buys a Platano Farm, so like plantain farm.
Yeah.
So, and on the Magdalena, buys this big farm, and of course, come back La Guerilla. Oh, look at the farm. Goes in,
damn it,
and they try to extort. So they tell the head farmer, like, "Yo, make sure this guy pays us." He relays the message, and my grandfather's, I ain't paying shit. So then, La Guerilla's like, what's his schedule? The farmer caves, tells them when my grandpa's gonna be there. And the teacher that like was around the area or something heard, and she's like, oh my God, they're gonna come kill you tonight. You have to dip. And so he literally laid on a canoe in the Magdalena, which is another big river, and didn't get up while they were like all around him, and the canoe just drifted away, and that's how he escaped the farm. And then the head farmer gets coerced to be like, oh, hit him up and be like, hey, I'll buy your farm, blah, 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 to then bring him back so they could murk him, just kill him. And the teacher goes, it's a setup, blah, 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 don't do it. Teacher gets hung. And he like hears about like the teacher just being hung on his farm. So this guy goes, yes, bro,
out of
yes,
here.
bro. Like they're savage, bro. And they're still around. They're still around in the jungles of Colombia.
The teacher was a woman or a man?
A woman.
Poor woman,
I know,
dude.
bro. Imagine. And it's all because of the head farm. I don't know. So I kind of trip out about talking about this because like Guerilla is still around. So hopefully they don't watch Genius Brain.
I mean, there's documentaries about them all over the place.
True. So fast forward to my parents. So this guy lost his farm. 0. Lost hella money probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward, my parents, they're doing their thing, successful in their country, whatever. During this time, there's still chaos because then Narcos came about in the 80s. And so they're like, this country's like whatever. And I think it was my dad got into like a fender bender. And my dad's like kind of fresh, bro. He's like, I'm not driving that car to work.
Yeah.
He's like, let me borrow your car to my mom. Just take the day off. So my mom's like, okay, I'll take the day off. And she went, walked. She's like, my mom loves to be active. She's my mom is equally as crazy as my grandma. Bro.
Okay.
My mom's a G. But yeah, she's like, I'm going to take the baby. I'm going to walk however many miles, whatever, to the bank. Goes. And she said that she was crossing this crazy intersection. It's like 4 cars this way, 4 cars this way. And she like crosses busy ass damn near highway. And as she's about to step on the curb, she sees like the sketchy couple. And then she sees like a foot behind like a tree. And as she's about to step, she's like, I got it in the baby. Like, grab the baby. So she's like, fuck, they're not taking my kid. Jumps backwards into moving traffic, bro. Says it causes like all this chaos. Sees a taxi, gets in the front seat of like a current taxi ride. Get the fuck out. She's like, what is happening? She's like, we have to leave this country. And she thinks that it was people trying to get something on my grandpa to sign over the deed or make it official, something like that. And they're like, yo, we're done. Like, we need a dip. Later on, find out one of his other sons, one of my half uncles or whatever it would be, got killed. Like as like a part of, like that guy got killed. So it was just like they wanted this man, bro, because no one says no.
Did they ever get to your grandpa?
No, he died peacefully at like 90 something.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it pushed us to like come to this country because that shit was not it, you know? And it's fucking my grandfather's fault, whatever. I mean, he was standing up for what he thought. So cool for him, but like, damn, bro.
Everybody else got killed.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's how it goes, man. And so that prompted a move. And that's where my parents' resilience comes in. It's just like, yo, like you guys really left a whole country where you were successful.
Yeah.
To come over here to sleep on a floor. Bro, and my mom unlocked memories that I fucking forgot. Like, she's like, yeah, you don't remember all of us just sleeping on the floor with like using our clothing as blankets and shit. I was like, fuck.
But isn't that crazy though, how that happens? Like you don't, you grow up, you start getting new memories, and all this other stuff too. And to us, it probably wasn't traumatizing because we were kids.
Yeah.
But you just forget about all the stuff.
You really do, man.
But our parents are older. It's still fresh in their head.
Bro, it's wounds. It's wounds, bro. It's open wounds. So I'm just like, and then like them like damn near getting to like zero money and then my mom finding the roll of cash in the.
That was the crazy part, man. That was so nuts because you told me that your parents were wealthy back then, right? Because of the education that they had.
Bro. And money just comes and goes real quick when it's converted to US, you know, like a peso to US, nothing.
Yeah.
Over there, the monthly salary is still like $200-$300.
That's fucking crazy.
That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah. So how old were they when they came to the States?
Like in their 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Like 40.
Holy shit. Mm-hmm. And how old were you?
I was like three, I think, I believe.
Oh, so you're super young.
I was a young baby, bro.
What area? Like, what city did you guys move into?
Burbank.
Oh, you guys were in Burbank.
My mom's like, I think they had a friend in Burbank.
Okay.
And so they moved into Burbank and stayed. And when they got there, the friend's like, yeah, come. It's gonna be $400 a month to sleep on that corner. It was like someone they knew. Bro, they were like fucking with us, not really like helping us at all.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck this, dude. Let's go over here. They found like a little like studio, like a room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we would sleep on the floor and just like, but I mean, that whole like, it builds character, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's where like there was like coming into like, whoa, what are we gonna do? Like our money's running out. My mom goes, I think she was just crying on the curb, bro, and finds a bankroll. Somebody has enough to pay for a rent or something. And that same month, they got work. So the rest is kind of history, you know?
That's so fucking
It's a
nuts,
blessing,
dude.
bro. What's meant to be is meant to be, though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, you know, I hear this story, right? Like, I'm literally picturing everything going on, you know, all the way from your great-grandmother to your grandmother to your mom, and then next to having you and then bringing you here, right? Like, I always say, too, that's why, we hear the stories about Afghanistan, right? This is current right now.
Current, bro.
You know, and I think when people in this country, they complain about their lives, they don't understand how good they have it. Like, it's hard to explain to somebody who has it all
their entire life. Bro, these people are holding on to airplanes.
I know. Thinking that they're going to live.
To live. How do you, like, could you even do that? Is it possible?
I think you'll die. You just die.
I think like the wind, 500 miles, 600 miles, you can't breathe.
You'll die. You'll suffocate to death.
And then fall.
But they'd rather risk it to do that than stay
and deal with the talent. It's fucked up.
It's fucking nuts.
Have you seen the helicopter shit now? They figured out how to fly our helicopters.
Oh my God.
And they're hanging people from them.
That's fucking crazy.
Dude, it's fucked up.
That's so nuts.
It's so fucked up.
You know, like it's like when I hear like everybody's immigrant story, it's just pretty insane, right? Because like I hear about, you know, your grandmother and how like resilient she was. Because I mean, could you imagine like this 11-year-old girl going to a river to wash clothes and then she out of nowhere she goes, I can't live like this. Fuck this. And by the way, those fucking rivers have creatures in them.
Bro.
Like, this isn't like the Sacramento fucking American river.
Bro, spiders are like this big.
I know.
It's the jungle.
There's like crocodiles.
It's the jungle, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
And she somehow fucking survived.
She's washed up. Bro, what's meant to be is meant to be. It's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy, bro. My grandma. And dude, how the fuck dude, one day I'm going to show you the fucking sculpture she would make with her finger. How, dude, I swear that she's in me, bro. She's like living through me because like that, her and my fucking grandpa on my dad's side. Did I tell you that shit?
Mm-mm.
I haven't told you that shit?
No.
Bro, So I pick up cutting hair, just doing my shit. I don't know how I'm doing it. Like I said, I watched 6 months of like blurry ass videos, and I'm hooking up the dorms, dude. I'm hooking up, and I'm at dinner with my parents. Like I come back from school, I'm like 2 years into cutting hair, bro. I'm like, man, I'm on some cocky shit though. I'm like, man, how am I so good at cutting hair? I'm like, who the fuck cuts hair in our family? And my dad's like, dude, my dad's so funny. Like, he's the most calm person. Just, I don't know. My mom's didn't your fucking dad cut hair? But in my dad's defense, he like his dad passed when he was like 7 from some shit.
Okay.
Bro, my grandpa picked up scissors and a comb and cut the whole pueblo for money.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, whoa, like surging my grandfather on one side.
Yeah.
And then COVID happens and I start drawing. I'm like, whoa, surging my grandma's artistic side. Bro, I'm like literally just out here like doubling like my fucking family heritage.
How does
like,
that make you feel?
Fucking amazing. Obviously, it sucked when no one like believed it. It was a struggle with like going from like a super educated family, because both my parents have masters in economics and shit, and like accounting and whatever, and business administration, to then being like, I'm gonna cut hair. Like, dude, it was a struggle. So it was shitty. But now I feel like
it makes sense.
Bro, it makes sense. Every choice I've made in my life so far, bro, it's what it is, you know? And it goes back to like the brand that I'm gonna start, or like my thing, Born from Rain.
Yeah.
I equated like those months of not being able to cut hair to a drought, discovering art as the rain, and it's sprouting my studio. That's why it's Born from Rain. My grandmother, bro, all that time, it's a severe drought. You're a 10-year-old girl not having fun, being taken into like the guerrilla. Your life is a drought. Goes and she has a baby, learns how to knit, something she's passionate about. That's the rain.
Yeah.
Sprouts this family, Born from Rain. My grandfather has all these people that, dude, my dad's family's big. It's like 11 kids. How am I going to feed them? Fuck. Severe drought. Picks up scissors and comb. Born from Rain. Like, it makes me feel so good, bro. I know.
There's like a huge resilience in your family, right? Like, everybody seems to have that common theme, is that they take their lemons and they make lemonade with it.
You have to, bro. You have to, like.
I still can't believe your parents have a master's like in business and economics, and they decided to leave this country, like living in this amazing life. You know, you said they had like maids.
Bro, my sister had like sick ass Barbie house dolls, toys. Like she loved it. She tells me, and she's like tennis court, playing tennis, like
tutors,
tutors, a class for everything, swim. She's a beast swimmer. Even though like I didn't really like have that. Especially because I was 3.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for her because she had it for a little, you know? So I'm like, people are like, damn, she had it for, I'm like, dude, it's even worse. You get that shit ripped off. Bro, my sister coming to this country had to be, dude, my parents don't speak English like that. Bro, my sister's a G2, bro. I was raised by like strong women, to be honest. My dad's like fucking strong male. He like held it down, worked like 14 hours a day, every day until he retired, whatever. But my fucking the girl side of my family, bro, they just are beasts. I give so much respect to my sister, bro. She raised me. She read every form to ever be needed in this country for my parents.
Yeah.
It's just, damn, man.
Yeah,
resilience, bro.
It's definitely within your family, because like even when I hear this story, right, people have to understand like how terrible was it to live in that country, to live a very comfortable life financially, to come over here, convert the pesos over into freaking American dollars to maybe survive a few months in the States having all this. I mean, that must have been a shock to your fucking parents too.
Bro, imagine. Burbank, why Burbank?
Out of all the places, you know? And they go there, you know, they meet up this friend, they're fucking gypping them.
Bro,
they're extorting them. They have to move somewhere else. And all of a sudden she finds this roll of money out of nowhere that saves them enough just until they find a new job. Fucking crazy,
Crazy,
dude.
man. Crazy.
I can't imagine what it's like to do that, because even now when I think about it, it's like, could I move to another country right now and just start up a life like that? I don't know.
It's so rough, bro. But the thing is, going to another country, but we have English.
Yeah.
That makes it a little easier.
Because a lot of people know English. Yeah.
No English.
That's fucking insane, man.
Out here speak Spanish, but like, damn, not everyone speaks Spanish, especially in Burbank.
I know. I mean, you took all your own risks, because when I first met you, you were cutting at a small barbershop and you were going through an apprenticeship at the time.
Yeah, man.
And I remember when you were working there, you were talking about opening up your own space.
Dude.
And then you fucking pulled the trigger.
What it was, bro, was I was convinced that barbering was my passion, right? And thank COVID, even though it's like fuck COVID, thank COVID.
Yeah.
I didn't have those 3 months of cutting hair, which are back-to-back 3 months of being in bed because of the injury.
Yeah.
So it's like fucked up. Anyway, those 3 months of not cutting hair, I drew that portrait of Sade. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That literally was the feeling I got from cutting hair tenfold. And I realized, like, I was like, oh shit, I don't fucking love cutting hair. I love expressing myself through someone's hair. I like look at hair artistically. And I realized, no, I'm trying to be an artist. And that's when I came back to the shop for like 2 weeks. And I was telling everyone like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get an art studio. And everyone was like, what the fuck, you're a barber? And I was like, nah, I'm gonna get an art studio, barber studio. And they're like, what? It's COVID. You just came from 7 months where you, out of 7.5 months, you only worked a month and a half. What the fuck? I was like, yeah, I don't know. And by the way, I'm in a new city because of my clientele is too far away for me to drive because my ankle was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger on this expensive ass place.
Yeah. But it fucking worked out.
It worked
man.
out. Hey, a year.
It's been a fucking year,
bro.
man.
It's been a year in the studio, bro. Memories been made, bro. It's been evolving. That's the
Time
best
goes by fast. You've been cutting my hair for a year, dude.
bro. Over a year.
Over a year now.
Over a year, and it's like, damn, man. I remember, and it's like I remember like yesterday when Matt was like, "No pressure, bro. David's gonna hit you up." I was like, "David, so?" And I didn't fangirl. I didn't want fangirl. But bro, I used to watch your guys' videos. You guys were the kings of YouTube.
Yeah.
You guys, bro, I love that shit, man. I was just like, oh shit.
It's kind of crazy how full circle. I mean, like I always say too, man, like it's very interesting too with like your personality and how positive you stay, right? And it has to be because of the backstory that you know about your family and where you came from. And it's really hard to explain to people, like trying to get them to understand, like, listen, if you can count your blessings, your life will be so much easier. Better. But it's we're in this world when you look at Twitter, we look at all this other stuff on social. Yeah. It's so hard. It's like, how do I tell like a younger generation, like, listen, you actually have it really good. The biggest burden that you have right now is the burden of choice. You have too much choices. You have so much choices, you don't know what the fuck to do.
You do.
Yeah. And that's what's stressing you out.
That's so interesting. That's well put, bro.
Yeah,
like,
which
that's
is actually
literally it.
To other people, your burden is everybody else's blessing.
Blessing, bro. It's their dream.
There are people who are born into trades. They're born as like chattel, as property. You have an ability to wake up and choose what you want to be. And you look at that like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, which is normal. However, there are people who would kill to be in your position. Yeah. I watched the documentary. I think it was like in Uganda or in Africa, right? Okay. And it's these young women who are just put into prostitution. They're like in these huts, these desolate huts. There's flies everywhere. There's shit everywhere, just garbage. And these women, since like the age of like 12, they're prostitutes. This is what they're born into. And it's not to like scare people into doing things, but perspective always.
Perspective, bro. That's fucking sad, man. That's real.
Yeah, and they have like venereal diseases and AIDS since they were like, before they even become a teenager.
Where they should even fucking be thinking about that.
Exactly.
That's
and
so
then
sad.
It's not to say that people like in first world countries like we don't have problems, but when you kind of wrap it around this whole thing of like, hey, the world that you live in is this small. Everywhere else, there are other countries who live as well as we do, but there are other parts that don't. You have to. It really helps you hustle a little differently.
Man, yeah, no, that was literally it. We have so many choices, and it literally is like clouding us. And
I mean, look at your grandmother too, right? Like she had one choice: either stay
and fucking kill military,
yeah, or jump in a river. She literally had two fucking choices.
And the worst part is she's 10. So she has to make a choice at 10.
She's 10. I can't believe they put her in a fucking potato sack, dude.
And she had to stay still. Imagine
in a helicopter, fucking threw her out. It's like, hey, this is your only chance to live. I hope you survive.
Best of luck. Peace.
Holy shit, dude.
And she's just like walking starving, bro. Starving, bro.
Eating scraps with fucking dogs.
Motherfuckers out here getting hangry. Hangry. Dude, I honestly, like, I get like hangry because like I have friends that get hangry.
Yeah.
I get so angry when motherfuckers get hangry, bro. I get low-key butthurt, bro. And no one really knows why. But like, dog, you're not starving, motherfucker. You ate breakfast.
When my parents first came to this country, like I was like 2 or 3, like around your age, right? So my parents didn't have a lot. So my dad worked as like a mechanic. He worked at somebody else's beauty supply store, and my mom was cleaning hotels. My mom didn't speak any English, but that was the only job that she could take. And my dad also did janitorial services. So they had to work multiple jobs, right? And then after that, so my dad first, actually, to even rewind back further than that, my dad first came to the States going to Houston, Texas. So he lived there because my aunt was there first, and then she brought my brother, her brother, my dad over.
Okay.
And then when the job market started drying up, or that they moved to Sacramento to start a new life.
What year is this? Around?
It was when I was through. So this is 1990, around there. So they're doing their own thing, whatever, whatnot, right? And then I didn't see my dad for the first like 2-3 years of my life. He was there when I was born in the hospital. And then after that, he was in the States trying to build us a life in Texas. Then moved us to Sacramento. My brother comes, he's 5. He doesn't speak any English. He had to take ESL classes. I was like 2 or 3, so I kind of learned how to speak English early on before everybody else.
You learned both at the same time.
Exactly. And I remember my parents' store when I first, it was weird because I remembered it when I saw an old photo of our store. It was my dad with one of his friends from Korea. And I remember I looked at my mom, I was like, oh, we used to have everything on cardboard boxes because we couldn't afford shelves. She goes, oh, you remember that? And I was like, yeah, it just hit me now.
It just snaps in.
Yeah, I remember all of our products were on the cardboard boxes that the supplies came in. And then we would just stack all the stuff on there.
Would they like write the price on
And we would write the prices on the cardboard boxes. And then later on, I remember when we first got our pricing gun. And you fucking loved it.
Yes, bro. That's some shit.
Fuck yeah.
Pop, pop. Yeah. That's so funny. That's some shit, bro. That's some fucking little kid.
Yeah, that's like some fun little kid shit. And then when we first came in here, we used to live out in these apartments in the projects. And then from there, we would live in a duplex in this area in Sacramento called Tem Woods. And that was like super fucking hood. There were like Samoan Bloods that lived. There was trap houses all around us. And then from there, we moved into a rental house next to the house that we bought, which was next door from our family friend. And that took, an X amount of time. So we became lower middle class by the time I was like 14. But before that, we were fucking dirt poor. Yeah. But the crazy thing is like when you have parents who are just as resilient and they're very grateful, you don't realize how poor you are.
You don't notice, bro. I thought I was rich, bro.
Yeah, same here. We didn't know we were poor. I knew I was poor when I went to college.
Bro, when you start talking to people about what they would eat, and you're like,
I'm like, you eat different things every day?
Yes! Yo, breakfast wasn't the same?
Yeah. What? Dog, breakfast, lunch, and dinner was the same for me, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, did I tell you the number one struggle meal that I just think is so funny because I tell people and their reaction is great? My mom would get spaghetti. And she said she found out by some guy at the store. She would get a can of tuna. She would put fucking ketchup and mayo in the tuna. Mix that shit, put it on the spaghetti, and I loved it.
Bro, there's hella struggle meals like that, dude. All the fucking time.
Oh, I love that shit. I might make it tomorrow just for the fucking feels, bro.
Dog, there's like I used to eat this shit all the time. This is back in the day before like seaweed was popular. Like seaweed was like shit that we would eat. So we couldn't have purified water because purified water, if you get a tank or so, it was hell expensive. So we would just get sink water and we would get roasted. It's called poricha. So it's roasted barley.
Okay.
And you probably had it at Korean restaurants. But my mom would just make that tea because we couldn't have purified water. So she would just boil the water with the tea. And we would just drink this non-caffeinated tea all the time, which I just assumed was always water. Because we couldn't get water bottles and shit like that. So we would have that. And then my grandma too, she would get the mac and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese boxes. And then it was that ghetto shit. And then she would just make ground beef and mix it together. And that was my favorite. I fucking love that shit, dude. You know, and those were those like treats for us too, but it's really just like
those are the treats.
It's broke people meals, though.
Bro. I'll never forget my grandma. So the one time that she visited the States, when we took her ass to Vegas, because that's the like shit that she would love. She just smoked cigarettes, play the gambling machines, whatever. She put me on to, and I only had it when she was there. She's like, "Yo, this is a delicacy. Tomato, sugar, mix it up." Yes, bro. Yes.
Tomato and sugar. Dog, that's so weird. Why did my mom used to do that. She used to slice of fucking tomatoes and put sugar on it as a snack.
Mine was like in a cup. Mine was in a cup. Hilarious. The Korean version, the Colombian version, shake hands.
Bro, she would have it on a plate during the summertime and would sprinkle sugar on that shit and we would eat that.
It was delicious.
Yeah, I fucking love that
shit. Hey, I unlocked a memory for you. I saw that fucking the light bulb get.
That's fucking crazy.
So funny, bro. That's so funny.
Hood snacks, baby. That shit's
let's go. Can't get that shit no Michelin star, bro.
The tomato sugar fucking snack, man.
I loved it.
But that's a point too. It's like I always say shout out to my parents. Like no matter how much we struggled or whatever, they always made us feel like we had more than we always needed.
Absolutely.
So I always felt like, oh, this is all abundance, you know, because what they had before that wasn't much.
Not shit.
Because my dad was broke as shit. My dad had an education because Korean missionaries came to Korea and they gave him an education.
Really?
My mom was in the Shigold area, which was a farm town. So she was a farm town fucking girl.
Okay.
They didn't really have much either. You know, and so when they moved to the States, my mom was working as a factory worker for her best friend. So she became best friends with this lady who's very, very wealthy. I can't say their name, but they're very like one of the richest people in Korea. But I didn't know that they were very wealthy, right? But my mom did. And I would call her halmoni. Halmoni means grandma. She's not my grandmother though. I didn't know. Right?
You were convinced?
Yeah, she's just my mom's best friend. She actually passed away, rest in peace.
All right,
but I thought she was my grandmother, right? And so I would call her halmoni all the time. But she used to take care of me when my mom was working at the factory because she was one of her workers. But she would take care of me. And so my mom and her became really close friends because her best friend was from the same area or the town that my mom was from. And she was a very like harsh, but she married rich to this guy who owned this huge factory.
Okay.
So, but she's a piece of shit like my mom, you know? But that's how they would get along because my mom didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So they would just curse at each other all the fucking time. And
sailors.
like fucking sailors.
I
but
love it.
that's what made them connect.
Connect for sure.
Because she's like, oh, nobody else talks to me like this. Like nobody else, everybody's too scared of me because I'm the wife of this really rich guy.
That's crazy.
But my mom didn't give a fuck. So they became really, really good friends. So when my mom would work at the factory working on the line, she would take care of me.
That's so
So I would call her.
Was she significantly older for you to think it was your harmony?
Yeah, she's like maybe 10 years older than my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so she would just always take care of me the whole time. And then this lady is so fucking funny. So because we grew up really poor, but they actually helped my parents out a lot when we moved to the States. They would send my mom money.
Oh, lit.
I didn't know this stuff, right? We're kids. We don't know this stuff. So they would help us out whenever we couldn't like make rent or whatever.
Yeah.
So I go to Korea when I'm, I think, is this when I was 14? This is when I was 14.
Okay.
You're like, I'm chubby and fat, right?
Was that your first time?
This is my second time going to Korea. I was 8 before, and when I was 14, this is how funny this lady is. She is the wife of somebody who's like one of the richest people in Korea. Right, so we go to this area in Korea that's like this. It's like medieval land, but it's a historical place where they do. It looks like those Korean dramas where it's like an old village.
Okay,
so they shoot those stuff here, and so you get to see people make candy how they used to make it back in the olden days. This is a public park. So my grandma looks at me, right? She goes, "You're really fucking fat," right? And she goes, "Your tits are almost as big as mine." And she lifts up her shirt.
No,
out in public. No. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bear?
No, she had a bra on and shit.
But still.
And my mom's dying laughing. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is with this lady, dude?
And that's your actual harmony.
And that's my fucking harmony, dude. And so like this is the lady that my mom like knew and grew up with. And it's kind of crazy.
And
like
that's your second time meeting her?
That's my first time meeting her at that time. So she took care of me when I was 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And then I met her when I was 8, and then again when I was 14. Damn, and she was just roasting my ass, bro. Like calling me fat the whole time, but in a very loving
way, yeah.
Because it's still funny. Like she still remembers me as this little kid because she took care of me when I was 1 or 2.
Yeah, little.
So to me, I'm her grandson.
Yeah, of course.
And like my mom said, like you were her favorite. And so like I'm fucking like 14 years old and I'm eating at the dinner table and she would not let me feed myself. She would get the spoon
and she'd be like, feed you. And you're just like, all right, I guess.
All right. Which is so weird because like,
bro,
I mean, I only met her a couple of times, but something about that bond that I had when I was younger, when she passed away, I started bawling my eyes. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's because she took care of my mom. She took care of our family when we really needed it.
Dude, it's a part of your like being, bro. It's your extension, it's your blood, man. And dude, like, yeah, the love that you're saying that she would feed you, and you're just like, you almost feel like a stranger, but you're doing all this kind shit to be like, it makes you feel like so close. Like when I met my grandma, dude, like I was just like smothered in kisses, blah, blah, blah. Bro, oh my God. Like instantly like, oh, this is my grandma.
When did you meet your grandmother?
Bro, I was a little ass kid, dude.
Yeah.
I was so young. Bro, this is how young I was. I was still not wiping my own ass, bro. So I was in the bathroom of our like little ass, like, bro, I probably met her. I must have been like 5 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Something, because we were still in that first spot. And I remember, bro, I was this is so old. Holy shit. I was in the bathroom, finished taking my shit. And I'm just like, what am I gonna do? No one's home but my grandma.
Yeah.
Not thinking like, oh, I could call my grandma.
Yeah.
She wiped my mom's ass. She wiped my ass, you know? Like,
yeah.
So I was just in the bathroom, probably like 30 minutes, bro.
Wow.
Before I was like, Abuelita. He's like, what the fuck? Where's this kid? Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Abuelita. Yeah.
And she came and wiped your ass.
She came and wiped my ass.
That's so fucking funny.
I was so scared to ask because she was so foreign to me, you know?
Yeah.
Damn. But the good thing is I met, actually, did she come twice or once? I know I met both of my grandmas on one trip. So it was like worlds collide.
Yeah.
Took their ass to Vegas. Oh, bro, there's pictures of us in like some hot tub in Vegas, and it's so fucking lit.
How old is she now?
Oh, she passed away.
Oh, she passed away.
She was, I think she was probably 82 or 79. It was either one of those two ages.
Wow, she lived such a crazy fucking life, bro, man.
Dude, she was so funny, bro. Something was up with her fingers where she, like her middle finger was like, I don't know if it was short or what, or she had like a long, like, so she'd flip people off by going like this. And she had a long ass, fuck you. She, bro, like a sailor, bro. She cuts like a sailor. And I think that's why I have like kind of like a profound vocabulary. But yeah, bro, it's
one of the dopest scenes is her just doing her makeup and her hair,
bro,
and shit.
Saying
chills, man.
If you touch me, you better kill me because I will kill you.
How fucking nuts is that?
And apparently she kept eye contact when he got up to hit her and just like grabbed the bottle. She's like, I'm gonna kill you.
I'll fucking kill you. I dare you to touch
me. I believe her. That's the worst part. I believe her, bro. She went through what she's been through. She has nothing to lose.
That's crazy, man.
You think I'll let you touch me?
Like even hearing a snippet of it before and hearing the whole story is insane to me, man.
Bro.
Like I could picture everything in my fucking head.
Thank you. Yeah, bro. I appreciate you inviting me to actually share this, bro.
I mean, I just want people to hear this stuff because I could tell my own personal story. And some people get it, right? And there's a lot of like Asian Americans kids who listen to this stuff and they kind of hear their parents' stories.
Yep.
But like it's hard for, like I said, it's always going to be hard for people to understand what it is unless you kind of really go through it. That's why like when I was a kid, we used to go on missionary trips to other countries and stuff. We would go to Tijuana and you would see how other people live. And it's like, damn, like this is some perspective, dude.
Culture shock.
It's like, this is so like important. Everybody else's every day. And you get to walk around and you're complaining about what toys you don't have, what this you don't have. And these are all blessings, you know? Like even being able to, like, I was talking to my fiance about this, right? And this is like us getting to know each other a little bit better during pandemic. And when she was going through a hard time, it was hard for me, as she's cracking up outside.
Literally cute, Mariel.
Yeah. It was hard for me to hear her complain about stuff that she was going through a lot of stuff at the time because pandemic kind of fucked with her a lot. Mm-hmm. And she would complain about these small things. And it was hard for me to hear it. It was like nails on a chalkboard.
Because,
right?
yeah.
And I was trying to tell her, like, give her her perspective. And then this is when we were like going through a lot of problems. We talked on the podcast, we were about to split during pandemic. And I told her one of the hardest things about it is the fact that I can't be with somebody who doesn't know how to be grateful for the things that they have. Because I didn't grow up like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't, like, I told her, like, I remember when I was a kid or even like when I first came to LA, everything that I chose on a menu for food-wise was based on what I could afford. You know? And now it's like, I could afford all this stuff.
And you still kind of...
And I still choose poor shit.
Yeah.
You know? But the option is there.
So
and I'm like, these are the small things that I'm grateful for, that I can go to a restaurant and look at the menu and choose what I want to eat. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's why she knows even this. I was like, you never hear me complain about life. I might be irritated about small things, but I never complain about life. And I asked her,
likewise.
I was like, have you ever heard me complain about my life? She goes, no, you haven't. I was like, because I have nothing to complain about. I was dirt poor. We grew up in the projects. We lived in a duplex. And from that, we became lower middle class when I was like 14 years old. Everything else in my life is a bonus.
Yes.
Like, perspective is fucking everything. And it's hard to be around people who don't have that same perspective, because it infuriates you. It makes you mad, you know?
Like I said, bro, hangry people. I get it. It's kind of, you're hungry. But man, that shit pisses me off sometimes, bro, because like my grandma was starving. Touching the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. Perspective, bro. And that's a good way to put it, man. Like for real.
Yeah, man. Real. Well, hey, thanks for coming through the pod, man. I hope everybody loved that fucking story. Tell everybody where they can find you, man, and get faded up.
You could find me on Instagram at BFR Sergio. That's my personal. That's where I'm going to be doing a lot of my projects. I have a shirt that I'm going to be putting out pretty soon that's going to fund a project that's near and dear to my heart in Colombia this December. Pueblo, where my grandma's from, I told you. So just be keeping up with that for updates. And then barber-wise, right now I'm pretty busy, so I'm not taking that many people. It's kind of like an invitation only, but all of your fans that I've taken in have been fucking dope. Yeah. So if you guys want a haircut, at BFR Studios, that's my business page, my portfolio page. You could see the haircuts there, see what I could do. I know how to cut Asian hair very well as well.
Yes, he does, which is very hard. It's very hard to find.
I try to be diverse in it. But yeah, DM me if you really want a haircut. We can probably work something out. But appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Always. Like another haircut without the hair getting cut.
No, dude, appreciate it. Well, yes, you guys can catch Genius Brain on every Thursdays and Sundays. Follow Sergio. If he has openings, I'm telling you, some of the best cuts you'll ever have in your life. Great conversation, just a good person, which is why I always plug his stuff. When he started going to the new studio, I started plugging his shit because I wanted him to be successful. And look, it's happening, man.
Thank you, brother.
It's killing it.
Really, for real.
Cool. We'll see y'all next time.
My G. Peace.